beautiful beings, it's Kerry from BMB Mobility, and I'm here to give you another super delicious extension biased workout. So this is great for traveling, in the garden, if you've sat at your desk for hours. It's a really nice way to release tension out of the neck and shoulders and other areas too. So if you are ready to join me, come and get a mat and maybe a glass of water nearby, and let's get started. So we're going to start in this lovely seated butterfly position. And just take the hands backwards. So you can have your hands any way round you wish. And we're just going to just lift and extend the chest upwards. And just take some nice deep breaths in and out. And then just bring that down. And again, bring it up and back. And then down. So I know when I sit on my computer doing my administration, it can really take its toll on my back. I also do weight training as well, and this is amazing. So if you do your weight training or anything strength-based to take the tension out of your muscles, it's really nice, this routine. So you could do it before, but you could do it after. It works either way. And then come back to the start position. Well done. And then just sit yourself up on your sitting bones. Take your hand to one side. We're going to bring that arm up, and we're going to take a nice little side bend over to the side. And then come back to the middle. Big breath in and over to the other side. So this workout is pretty good for most things, but if you want a kind of more gentle workout, something a little bit more restorative, then this is absolutely delicious. And just do what you can. Take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to go over to the side. And then last one. So again, if you're sitting down on your body, it can get a little short. So we're just trying to create more length out of the side and then come back. Now this is another option if you want to take it a little bit further. If you have knee issues, maybe you could just have your legs out in front of you instead. I've got my legs in this kind of pretzel position and holding my ankle inwards and sitting my body up so my ribs are over my hips. Take a nice deep breath in. So this is just a little bit more progressive. And then we're going to take that down onto the elbow this time. So you're loading your shoulder and we're going to lift up. Come back to the start position. So not only are we stretching in this class, we're also loading the bones. It's really good for joint strength and joint health. And we'll do one more on this side. Down, take a breath in. And then come up to the start position. We're going to swing the legs round to the other side. So none of these exercises should be that difficult that you are holding your breath. Again, just stack your ribs over your hips. Take a nice big stretch, and as you exhale, and then come down. And again, same to the other side. So you may start to notice, especially on these side ones, that one side feels a bit different, and that's quite normal. Because let's face it, we don't brush our teeth with both hands. Exhaling. And then inhale and exhale. Come back. And then swing the legs around again. Bring the legs forward this time. So again, we're going to take the hands backwards and lift the chest. So knees together this time and drop. So you can stay here. I like to give you some progressions that you can work towards, especially if you're doing this video a couple of times a week. So on the next one, if you can, you're going to take your bottom off the floor with your knees together. We're going to hold it to pull our shoulders back, push through the feet, and then lift the hips and make a kind of table. Lift the breastbone and come all the way down. And again, so this is an amazing stretch for the chest, but also the bicep muscle in your arm, your wrists. It's a bit of a challenge. And then last one, push up and down. And then again, a little bit more of a progression, again, is to do it with your legs extended. So when you're ready, push up and down. And we'll do one more. Take a deep breath in, push up, stretch through the chest, and come back down. Well done. Shake those arms off. So you may feel you've definitely done something there. And we're going to swing the legs round. Onto the hands and knees. So we're going to do the cat-cow position. So if you set your knees up so they're in line with your hands, if you have wrist issues or wrist pain, I'd maybe sit back a bit so you're not putting as much weight for your wrists, but you want to load all of your fingers so you're not just leaning on the palm of your hand. So making sure that you've got a nice position and even your thumbs are getting a nice stretch. And then we want to pull the stomach in and lengthen the head. And again, with the feet, if you can put them this way back, try to push your knees down into the floor so you've got a nice strong base. And then take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to curl your tailbone under and start to curl your head over and make the letter C with your spine. And then as you inhale, you're going to make the letter C upside down. Exhale. And then inhale. And then last one, exhale. And inhale. And then just open the knees a little bit wider, bring the feet together and just have a stretch. So you can have your arms extended, or if you want something a bit more gentle, you can just take the hands behind you. Just take a nice deep breath in and out. And then come back. Lovely. We're going to go back into that position. So again, we want to put a little bit of pressure through the bones, but we want to take regular breaks so it's all achievable. So this time we're going to extend our right leg back, and you want to tuck your toes into the ground. So your toes get a stretch and your foot gets a stretch, but even the pinky toe, a little tiny toe, see if you can get that one to bend, and then bring your weight onto your both hands and your knee. So again, you don't want to lean to one side. You're going to try and hold yourself there. And then what we're going to do is make sure we can lift this leg up off the floor just for a few moments and then bring it back down again, but without arching the back. So stomach in, lift the leg and lower. And again, we're going to progress this exercise. So one leg, and then we're going to walk that left hand forwards. And if you can, take your weight up, your arm up off the floor and hold that Superman position. Come back down and slide the leg back in. You can give your hips a bit of a wiggle in between and then go to the other side. So again, firstly, start with your foot, tucking your toes into the mat. And then when you're ready, again, engaging that stomach, pushing this leg down and then come up. So you want your weight even through both hands and both your legs. And then taking your hand off, see if you can hold, extend and stretch. Keep that stomach pulled into the spine. And come back to the start position and just have a little stretch back on your knees. We're going to take the hands behind your back, so interlacing the fingers, and just give your chest a bit of a stretch. Good stuff. Shake off. Come back onto your hands and knees again. So this time we're going to take the left leg back. So the left leg's going to go back. You're going to tuck your toes into the floor. Again, see if you can balance on all of your fingers and then lift this leg up. Now this time it's going to go over and flex the toes and stretch. And then you're going to look over your shoulder, cheating, this is cheating, over your shoulder and give yourself a nice side stretch. Then come back to the start position, slide that leg in. Again, when you're ready, lift up and over, and then curl your head around, stretching through your foot, and then come back to the start position. Once again, take the hands behind you, nice big stretch. And then just bring yourself around to the front. So we're going to sit up on our bottoms again. Sit up nice and straight. And then what we're going to do is just hug our right knee into the chest. So this exercise routine is a nice little flow. The exercises flow from one into the other. If you don't have a lot of time, you could just pause the video. And then when you get a bit more time again, maybe just do another 10 minutes. So you could effectively do 3 workouts in this one session if you were short of time. And I think consistency is the key to do it regularly. And then we're going to take this leg to the side. Don't worry too much about where it lands. We don't want to force it down, but you're trying to kind of anchor the back of your leg down slightly. And then see if you can sit up really tall through the spine and then hinge forward. So try not to round your back. Imagine you're going straight forwards and flex this foot. Now this is optional, of course, but I want you to see if you can bring your hands to the ground and stretch a little bit further forward again, without arching the shoulders up to the ears. Just try to extend forwards and just keep breathing. And just notice what you're feeling in your body. So for me, I'm feeling this in the back of my bottom, into my lower back area, and also into the back of my calf. You might have a completely different set of results. And it does change, obviously, depending on what we do with our bodies during the week. So we're going to take one arm up, so it's the opposite arm to your leg, and bring it right over to the outer part of our leg to hold on, and again lean forwards. So stretching down the side body. Take care as you come back up, slowly stack the spine, and we're going to take that over to the other side. So sitting tall. And then take that leg out. Again, try and anchor your leg down a little bit, and then just start by sitting up out of your seat and then traveling forwards. Just relax the head, relax the jaw, and then your other arm is going to sweep up and over and to the other side. Just see where you can hold on and flex your foot. And then slowly come back to the middle. Again, just take care as you come all the way up to the start position. And then we're going to bring the legs in. I'm going to turn myself round onto my mat and lengthen my legs. And we're going to go into our roll down. So again, when you're ready, curl your tail and then slowly reach through the hands, rolling all the way down to the floor, and take a nice big stretch. And then bring your arms out into the letter. teeth. So just let the shoulders drop away from the ears. So bring the feet up about halfway and just plant all your toes down. And just start by swishing the legs from side to side. And then come back to the middle, and we're going to take this right leg up to the ceiling. See if you can hold the back of your leg. Keep driving that leg up and relaxing the shoulders. We don't want to kind of put tension in the jaw and neck area. So if you find it hard to keep your head down, obviously you can put a pillow underneath your head so you're not kind of looking back. You don't want to be looking behind you. You want to be looking up at the ceiling. And then this leg that we've got in the air, we're just going to take our hands away. We're going to slide the other leg forwards and then take that leg over to stretch through the outer part of our leg. Flex the foot. And then bring that back. Slide the leg in and place this foot onto your other thigh. So again, you could stay here if you wanted to keep it really gentle, or you're going to pick this leg up. So sometimes this is called the figure of four stretch, but you're looking for a stretch into your glutes, into the side of the leg here. And if you can, you could hold the back of your leg with both hands, but again, you want to make sure that you're not looking backwards. So if that is just too much of a strain, just take the hands to the front of your leg instead and try to pull that leg closer to the chest. And bring that leg down to the floor. Well done. And then we're going to just swish again, just a few times, and then set ourselves back up on the other side. So left leg extends up. Again, holding the back of the leg with both hands. And then just take your hands away to slide the leg away. And then again, nice long leg, bring it over to the side. Some people can hold their big toe with their hands. I can't do that. We've all got different levels of flexibility. And the more running I do and the more I do with my legs, the kind of shorter they get. So we're just trying to kind of rebalance ourselves as best we can. And then come back to the start position and take that leg over the other side. And again, pick a position that works for you. So with the heart rate kind of relaxed and the mind a little bit more relaxed, you know, it's much more of a restorative session than say Pilates or, you know, a circuit training session. But again, it's still really important that you do look after yourself, and especially if your energy levels are quite low, this can actually give you more energy because you're doing it nice and slowly and you feel great afterwards. And then bring that leg down to the floor. Again, carefully uncross the legs and just a few swishes. So we're going into a slightly deeper stretch now. You're going to take your left leg over your right. Just let the leg become nice and floppy, and then lift your bottom off the floor, move it to the left a bit, and then gently roll the legs to the right. So into our spine twist. And as you can see, I've got my hands upside down. I'm trying to facilitate a stretch across the chest because of all the office work I do as well, all the admin. It's hard to sit up straight, isn't it, all day? And then slowly bring that back. Again, carefully bring yourself back to the middle and then take that to the other side. And then gently come back to the middle. Again, just swish your legs from side to side. And then just hug the right knee into the chest. Extend the left leg out. If you suffer with sore knees, you can take your hands under instead. It's entirely up to you. And try to draw that knee up towards the right shoulder. And slowly switch. Left shoulder. And then both knees. So if you're feeling energetic, we're going to rock up to seated. If not, you can roll onto one side and sit up. Amazing. Now we're going to come onto our front again. So just come back to the back of your mat. So this is really nice. You might have heard of an exercise called thread the needle. So this is what we're going to look at here. It's a little bit different. So you're going to come onto your hands and knees and make a box again. And a bit like we did at the very beginning, you're going to extend your left leg back. So this does require a bit of balance. So just make sure your knee is set up in front of your hand, because we're going to take one hand off the floor. So you need to make sure it's the right hand. So your left leg is back. You're going to take your right hand off the floor and just make sure you can balance. And then turn the body and bring your arm through and bring your ear to the mat. And just hold that position. And then make sure your left hand is somewhere nearby, because you're going to push your weight up in 3. 1, 2, 3, push. And then bring that hand back to the start position. So we're going to try that again, but we're going to add on to something here. So take it again through. And then this time, as we bring it through, we're going to turn and look up and bring it back through. This is one of my favorite mobility exercises. It does lots of things in one go. And the other thing you can do if you're feeling a little bit wobbly is use the leg that's on the ground, this one at the back here, to balance. You can push your foot down or use your toes to try and anchor yourself to get that leverage to twist, and then come back to the start position. Okay, so let's change legs. Again, we're going to try before we buy. So make sure your knee's in line with your hand. Take the weight off and turn. Just pause. And again, you don't want this hand too far forward because you need it to push up. So when you're ready, 1, 2, 3, push. And come back to the start position. And then again, you've got 4 more on this side with the extension. Last one. And come back to the start position, onto the knees. Now we're going to walk the hands forwards, bring the knees together, and bring the weight forward so you're in a 3/4 plank position. Squeeze the legs together, bend your elbows, and come down. Just slide your hands forward. And if that is too high, you can just come down with your chest a bit lower to the floor. But if you can, try to stack your elbows up under your shoulders and press your hands into the ground. Just relax your eyes down so that your neck is nice and long, and stack the heels up. We're going to flex and hold this leg. And then flex and hold the other leg. So again, as always, we're going to progress this stretch, but you don't have to. You can do that again a few more times. I'm going to bring myself down and bring my left hand forwards, bend my leg, and see if I can hold my foot and push myself up back onto my elbow. So trying to keep the thigh connected to the mat. Make sure you're not twisted to one side. And again, if that's too hard, you can just keep practicing the beginner level and eventually you'll get better. And just bring that down. Switch sides. Push up. And then come back down. Just bring your hands either side of your shoulders so that you've got little wings. Legs together this time. And just lift the chest. And lower. Just keep breathing. Last two. And come back down. Push yourself up onto your knees. Well done. Take your hands back behind you. Have a nice big stretch. And then once again, we're going to come back onto the hands, but this time we're going to go into a little downward dog foot pedals. So again, really nice for extending the calves, the heels. So set your knees up again in that 4-point kneeling, toes under. When you're ready, push up and back. And then just pedal the heels up and down. If you want to progress this, you can hold one leg down and then take the other leg off. And you can take it all the way up to the ceiling if you wish. And then switch. Oh, that's a tough one. And come back down. Oh, we're getting there. Roll the shoulders. And then spin yourself around. Again, we're going to lay back down onto our mat for our last little section is the shoulder bridge series. So laying it down. Again, I always try to roll down with control like I would in Pilates, just to kind of get my muscles and my muscle memory there. Have a nice big stretch. And then bring your arms out to the side. So setting your legs up so the heels are in line with the back of your sitting bones, and you're going to press the arms against the floor. When you're ready, start to find your pelvic floor muscles, press into the feet, and roll up. So imagine you've got a little tripod setting in your feet. So there's 3 points between your heel, the big toe and the little toe. So you're balancing on all of those 3 points. But you're also balancing on both shoulder blades evenly. And then take a nice deep breath in, just soften the throat area, roll through the upper back, through the middle back, and then through the lower back. So this is lovely if your spine's a bit stiff. You're learning to articulate through the bones up. Again, just pause, lift the hip bones, sending the hip bones up to the ceiling, press into the backs of the arms. Take a nice breath and then soften your chest, roll down. So again, really important, once you get going with these, we start to kind of forget what we're doing, is making sure that your toes don't curl up. If you are getting crampy toes, it might be that you're screwing them up. So keep your toe bones nice and long. You want to be engaging your glutes. So again, if you're not sure, just hold your bottom, give it a squeeze, because that's going to open up the front of your thighs. This is amazing for traveling. If you've been in the car for hours, trains, or at your desk, you're extending through the front of your body and then come all the way down. I want you to do 2 more for me. And if you're really good at this, if you think, well, this is easy, you can do it on one leg. So that is an alternative. I'll just show you that on this next one. If you wanted to, you can do them on one leg only. That's a lot harder. And obviously come all the way down and then change legs if you wanted to. You could add that into your weekly fitness class. And then when you get to the bottom, just hug the knees into your chest. So if you want to find out a little bit more about your alignment and your joints strength, I've got a full on-demand platform, which is at bmb where there's lots of videos, Pilates, strength training, and more of these kind of classes. So do get in touch if you want to see more. I also have some live classes that are on Zoom, so wherever you are in the world, you can access those live with me. I do 1 Pilates class a week and 1 stretch class a week live on the Zoom. Just extend that leg, and they are really fun. And then switch sides. And then take a nice big final stretch back, stretch the fingers, stretch the toes, and then just bring your arms down to the floor. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And feel free to stay here as long as you like. Well done today, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.